Hey guys, this is Sarah, and today is Wednesday, June 3rd, which means it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday. Today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is Top 5 Favorite Books of the Year so far. And it's hard. It's so hard to pick because I've enjoyed a lot of books, but I mean, how can you really say they're your favorite yet? I feel like there's so much more to read throughout the year that I can't just pick some, but I did my best, and without further ado, let's get started. In spot number 5 is Just One Day by Gail Forman. I read this in February, and I absolutely loved it. It's the only two books that I read from Gail Forman. I read the duology, and I really enjoyed it. I loved her writing style. I loved the character development. I loved the journey. Everything about it was just awesome, except for the big cliffhangers. That was not as awesome. But they served their purpose, and I just really liked it. In spot number 4 is The Girl at Midnight by Melissa Gray. This is the new release of April, I believe, April. I got an ARC from NetGalley, and I loved it. Loved it. So freaking good. I kind of regret reading it because now I'm anxiously waiting the sequel, and it won't come out until next year, and I'm not good at waiting. I am not good at it. So I'm really anxious, but I just found it to be so great. The characters were amazing, character developments, character relationships, personalities. The story itself was really interesting, and there's so many fantasy, science elements. It was just so good. Everything I could ever want in a book packed together, and it was just awesome. In spot number 3 is The Archived by Victoria Schwab. I mentioned this in my May wrap-up. I love her. She's one of my favorite authors, and this book was no exception. I was a little apprehensive because the other books that I read from her was adult book, and I don't know if I started The Archive and I felt like her writing style changed from adult to young adult, and it was really slow at first, and I was like, oh my god, what if I don't like it? I'm gonna cry. But I read the whole thing, devoured the last 50% of it, and it was just amazing. I loved it, and I'm so excited to read The Unbound with my friends this month. In spot number 2 is Ignite Me by Tahereh Mafi. I read this trilogy in April. And I picked Ignite Me specifically because I feel like this is the type of series that gets better and better after every book. And since the last one was my favorite one, I give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was just so good. So much action, so much character development, and just acceptance of oneself and one's good, bad things and everything. Juliet is such a badass in this last book, and then we have sort of reconciliation, and it was just awesome. The only thing that I can complain about is the ending was a little rushed, and we were kind of left hanging about what happens next, but I don't even care. It was so good that I don't even care. And in spot number 1 is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I read this all the way in January, and I'm still not over it. I cannot deal with this book. It was amazing. A lot of people complain about how it was so slow in the beginning, but I just loved absolutely everything. I loved all the new characters. I loved all the new things we were learning. I loved Selena. Selena is I love her. She's one of my favorite main characters, ever. And I just feel like the Heir of Fire was such a huge book about development, which is I've said this whole video, but who cares? Selena grows so much in this one, and it sets her up for this huge platform of badass kick-assery that it should be coming in Queen of Shadows, and I am just so pumped for that book. And I love this series so much. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your top 5 favorite books of this year. Everything depends on what you have been reading. I feel like all these books are so old and everyone's already read them except for like Girl at Midnight, and I'm just now catching up with it, but I don't care. Let me know what you think of my choices. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!